This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
It's 11:06 at WPSL 1590, the talk of the Treasure Coast. And welcome to Never Alone from Harbor Place. And coming in his sleigh, braving that huge snowstorm outside.
You say that. This morning was a little chilly, though.
Actually, it was a little cool. Yeah. Oh, but can you believe the snow? Up around Tahoe, 12 feet of snow.
That is nuts. I live away from the cold for a reason.
Yes, so do we. Oh,
do it.
I'll never forget. We moved from San Diego, and then when we started ESPN, I served my prison sentence in Bristol, Connecticut for a year and a half. And then Carol was in the beautiful town of Boston. But, as San Diego residents, we had never really experienced freezing weather. And of course, like her locks froze and stuff like that in Boston. It's like, uh-oh, now what do you do? Yeah, it's crazy.
I get it. Like I went to college in Montgomery. So coming from Pensacola, where, it got chilly, it didn't get freezing very often. And then moving to Montgomery, Alabama, the first winter and it snowed, I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, what is this stuff?
Yeah.
There's sand blowing around, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to go visit it, play in it for a couple days, and then I want to come home. I don't want to live in it.
Yeah, I know where you're coming from. By the way, did you see the snow shots from Fort Walton Beach yesterday?
No.
Yes, that was one of the lead stories on CNBC last night. They had this massive snowfall going on up north, and then they went to Fort Walton Beach, and it's melting by the time it hits the ground. But it was snowing.
Fort Walton Beach.
Yes. Oh, it's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but it didn't stick very long, but
right. But still,
it was cool.
I'm surprised it stuck at all.
Yeah, it blew me away. It's like, wow, state tournaments right around the corner there in Niceville. So yeah, wow. Yeah, it's crazy. It is amazing how you're not looking very far north when you're talking Montgomery, Alabama from Pensacola.
No, 3 hours.
Yeah, but what a difference in geography.
And then go an hour and a half north to Birmingham, and it changes completely again.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my. Crazy. Yep. So what's going on in your world?
We are rocking and rolling around here. The next thing we have coming up in about 16 days, so a little over 2 weeks, we have our seminar with Dr. Joe. We are so excited about Dr. Joe being here to talk about knee pain and just pain in general and non-surgical ways to fix things. And it's going to be an absolutely fantastic event. I know he's talked about it on his show. We are looking forward to it so much. One, because we're going to have people back in the building. We are in the industry of people. We love people. We love seeing people. It's been a little difficult, and especially here lately with the latest outbreak, but they are saying that should ease up within the next 2 weeks. So hopefully by our 20th date, we should be a little bit better off and not so worried about the Omicron, and things will continue to improve. But we are definitely looking forward to having some people back in and having seminars again.
Well, it was very interesting. It's vacation time was kind of rough around this place when our morning host at WSTU was on vacation. He got Omicron.
Oh no!
And his co-anchor got it as well, but they were both off. So it was like, okay. And then Mr. G goes on vacation here, and he got it, but again, with all three of them, they're looking at, it was like a 2-day event, basically.
Yeah. Yep, that's what we've heard and seen. And even the ones that I know of that really that tested positive, it was 2 or 3 days. And even then it was nothing. It was like, just felt like they had a cold. Like it wasn't anything drastic, but nothing compared to what it has been.
Right, exactly. And it's amazing. So, it's like, we've gone back to Lysoling the place, and, and we've got the wipes, and we're all prepared for whatever, but, hopefully we're, gonna come out of this mess.
Yeah, I actually, right before the show, was on the phone with my mother. My father has come down with some symptoms, just sick on his stomach, body aches. I just said, just please go get tested. I know you think it's just a cold, but please go get tested just to be safe. So he is on his way to go get tested now. And I made my mother test as well, just because she's there taking care of him. And it's, we've had 3 cases in the past 2 weeks in the building here, in the 2 in the assisted living and 1 in independent. And even those, they didn't really have any symptoms.
Yeah. It's this new one is really strange. But it's like you say, it's like a heavy cold.
It is. It's a heavy cold. It feels like a bad sinus infection is what I've been.
Well, and G was told by his doctor that he did have a sinus infection.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, it's very bizarre. Very bizarre.
My one in independent living, she didn't even want to be tested. Her daughter said, let's just test to be safe. She's like, I don't have it. I don't have those symptoms. And sure enough, that's what it was.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't look the same or feel the same.
No.
Any 2 people. It's this thing is totally bizarre. It's crazy. But hey, if more and more people can get the lighter and lighter one, that the better off we are.
Better off we'll be. Yeah. And I was just listening a while ago that the CDC is now saying get your booster every 5 months as opposed to 6. And I think it's smart, because they are finding those that waited over the 6-month mark or haven't gotten their booster, or got it and very quickly ended up with the variant, is because their body is starting over from trying to build that immunity back up. So, I mean, I get it. It'll take time for them to perfect it where it's a 1-year shot like we do with the flu shot. But we'll get there. I'm not concerned about it at all. I've had my 3 shots, and I'm watching for my 5-month mark, and I'll get the 4th one if I have to, if that means keeping my friends and family and the residents safe from me transmitting it to them.
It's interesting you say that, because our IRSC coach was asking me, have you scheduled another booster yet? And I said, no, not yet. And he said, well, we'll see if we have any of the shots here on campus, and just come on down before a game and get your new booster. That I don't have a problem with that. I don't care.
Me either. If that's what it's going to take, to not, this is never going to go away. Let's make that very clear. The flu doesn't go away. Several years ago, we had a really, really bad variant that killed a whole lot of people. It's never going to go away. It's a matter of containing it, and doing what we need to do as humans to better our immune systems to fight it. And if that means getting a booster every 5 months, every 6 months, it is what it is. Yeah,
it's very funny. Every Friday we have the Rabbi Shafir Lobin here, and she's obviously a mega history buff, among other things, and her 3 PhDs or whatever that she's got, and she was, she can trace it all the way back to biblical days. I mean, they have had these, plagues going all the way to back then. So, I mean, this is nothing new.
It's not. And that's why, like we've talked about before, really go back. This started as the bird flu. And the bird flu, we fought that, everybody got over it, and it became a new variant, and it became the coronavirus. Well, the coronavirus then changed and mutated into COVID-19. And then now we're on COVID-19 Omicron. I mean, it's going to continue just like the flu does. There's going to be another variant that comes out. It's an organism that's trying to keep itself alive, and so it's going to keep mutating.
Yeah, if you think about it in that terminology, it does make it does make a lot of sense, because it's fighting for its life too.
Exactly. You have to think about it scientifically, that it's trying to do the same thing we are, which is to stay alive. And so looking at that and thinking out of it in that nature, and then you have some that say, well, scientifically, I'm not putting something in my body that is not scientifically proven. I get it. However, we have in the past 18, 19 months learned that having the booster, having the shot has decreased the amount of cases that's come through. That's evident. Look, watch your TV. And so do we know the long-term effect that it's going to have? No, but we didn't know with polio either. You know, they did what they needed to do to protect their children at that time, which was to do all these polio shots. Now, I had an aunt that had polio, and polio was something that years later, it could go dormant, is what they're learning now. It went dormant. And then years later, if you had polio, then she actually passed away from polio-like symptoms, you know? And so is there a fear that that's going to happen with COVID-19? Absolutely. But that's the same fear that we live every day with having a cold or the flu or pneumonia. You know, you don't know when your time on earth is done and what's going to do it. And to say, well, I'm not going to do that because I don't know how it's going to risk, then don't take a Tylenol, because the slightest imperfection in a Tylenol could also kill you. So you really have to think about it scientifically and say, what's the best thing to keep me healthy?
Exactly. Sure. Yeah. And as you mentioned, you know, the bird flu or whatever it was back then, I mean, 50,000 people died from that.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's, you know, again, this is kind of nothing new, but yeah, unfortunately, this turned into a political football, and it's just
very quickly
terrible.
Turned into a political football, and it felt like a soccer match there for a little while, back and forth and back and forth and back. And I don't get into that. Well, one, I don't get into politics. Let's just make that very clear. I'm not a political person at all.
You're wise.
I'm not. You know, I have always been one of those, and my parents have a party. I do not. You know, I look at it from I weigh it out, pros and cons of everybody. I'm not voting for a party just because that's my party, you know, anything of that nature. And so until people can learn to really look at some things at a 30,000-foot view and not so much at a 1 inch away from a view, you'll start to see more than it's not just about you. And there's a bigger picture at that 30,000 feet that you have to look at.
Sure.
And that's kind of the same way that we do with an independent living or an assisted living. There are things that we have to look at 30,000 feet. And looking at it from 30,000 feet, what's doing good, what's not doing good. And when we can see at 30,000 feet, well, this isn't going so great. That's when you start zooming in and you figure out, okay, I need to zoom in on this. Or we're looking at a map of the community, like a world map. And this is where we have a spike here. So everything focuses on that spike. And that's business. You have to be able to correlate your problems from a 30,000 foot view, as well as going straight down. So it's the same thing with the world. People have got to just stop looking at things of a me, and really open up to what can we do to fix a problem.
Wow. Amen to that. I'll elect you right now.
Oh. No, I don't. Nope.
Jack for dog catcher.
No.
No.
No. You know, and I'm on these things on Facebook where they start talking about there's a lady that walks up and down the Port St. Lucie Boulevard, and some people were making fun of her, and some people were then making fun of the people who were making fun of her. And I'm like, why do we even have to talk about this? If she wants to be out there, no matter what her view is, if you don't agree with it, why do you even have to place it out there for other people to see your view? You know, have your view, keep your view to yourself, and move on with the world.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We used to have that in Los Angeles. There was a lady, um, older lady who used to show up in a bikini outside of the courthouse.
Oh
And,
my.
she was, and she was protesting, you name it. It was a protest of the day.
Right?
And so it was hysterical. And, you know, well, then she became a mega celebrity, you know, and it was like,
I'm sure.
oh, well, I mean, you face it, you have television cameras going in and out of the courthouse every day.
Every day.
And there she was, you know, it was like, oh no.
No.
Oh, brother. Oh yeah. Yeah. So yeah,
You do it.
getting back to real life at Harbor Place. So Dr. Joe was talking about
Yes.
you guys a lot on Bone Talk last week.
Was he? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we're so excited. And one, because we're having someone back in the building for a seminar. I feel like it's been so long since we've been able to do them. So people coming in, we're so excited about that. We're going to have hors d'oeuvres and with coffee and tea, and he's just going to talk. I don't care if he talks for 20 minutes or 5. You know, we just want to have people back in the building for seminars, and we are looking forward to it.
Yeah, that should be a fun one. And he's a great guy, and as you know as well. And yeah, it should be interesting.
Yeah, and it is limited space, obviously, because we do still want to social distance to the best of our abilities. So if you have not RSVP'd, make sure you do that. Remember, we're about 16 days out. You can call the building 772-337-4330 and just let them know that you want to sign up for the upcoming seminar on the 20th. And they will give you any information that you need there as well, so you can write it down while you have a pen and paper. They'll put you on the list, and then we will send either a text or a verbal call coming a couple days before, reminding you about that event. And we are so excited to have Dr. Joe with us. He's a fantastic speaker, very knowledgeable on non-surgical options. And so we're looking forward to a fantastic event.
Yeah, it should be good. You didn't tell me you were going to have food. I mean, I may have to go out there, you know.
Look, we don't do anything without food.
Yeah, there are priorities at Harbor Place.
Right. Even if it's just cookies and coffee, we're going to have food. I mean, that's what brings the people. Let's be honest. Dr. Joe is great. He does great speeches, but people come for food.
We jokingly during the Raiders trial had hats on. Working press, where's the food?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. So it'll be, like I said, we're hoping to have a jam-packed room with him giving his speech and his talk on non-surgical ways to fix pain, I think it's knee pain is what he's specifically talking about. But I'm sure if you have a question about anything else, he'll be happy to answer to the best of his ability, or at least set you up with an appointment to come into his office and have a one-on-one with him. So we love them. We love him. And we are just really looking forward to it.
Well, and you can hear in your voice the excitement of actually having human beings coming to visit you. I mean, you say it's been a long time, but it has been. It's been 2 years.
We've been very careful, very cautious. And it wasn't until the Omicron strand that we even had COVID in our building. We went the whole time without having COVID in assisted living or independent living. And even now, I can count on one hand how many we've had through this entire time period. And so we've been very cautious, making sure things are clean, shutting down, unfortunately, dining and things like that. If there's more than one case, things like that, we want to make sure that we can do with grab and go foods or having meals delivered to their rooms for a couple of days, just to make sure that we're keeping everybody safe. Now, we do have the ability, because we're a large space, we have that meeting space in the back, we have a back door where people can park, and we can do temperature checks and things like that through the back door. And so the only caveat to that is you will be required to wear a mask while you're in the building. And then as well, we really would like for you to at least have your first 2 COVID shots or the Johnson & Johnson shot to come to this event, just because, again, we want to keep everybody safe. And so having that vaccination as well as wearing your mask, and then your temperature will be checked and things upon entrance. Same thing you would do if you were going to a concert or anything else. We just want to keep everybody safe.
Yeah, well, it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. You've got to protect all of your residents. I mean, that is your primary job.
Right. I have about 160, 165 residents. So that's my number one priority. Yes, we want to have people in. We want you to come see and learn and see how great our community is in the process. But I have to keep those 165 residents safe.
Yeah, well, Carol just said, check on my padded room if it was ready yet.
No padded room. Sorry.
Oh, well, breaks my heart. Oh, well.
I have a nice 2-bedroom apartment you can move into, though.
Oh, well, now you're talking. With meals yet. I don't have to cook, huh?
That's right, with meals. And then as well as it may even have a patio or a pool view. You just never know.
Wow. This is we may have to talk here after the show.
Yeah. Our patios are quickly going. Everybody wants that patio, and definitely all of the views. Our pool view is fantastic. We have 2 internal courtyards with water features, so the view into those on the independent living side, and then on the assisted living side, we do have 1 large pond area and water feature that has a view, and those rooms are quickly going as well. And they're completely renovated within the last year. And so we got granite countertops, tile floors, brand new carpet, new paint. They just look absolutely amazing.
And you're going to have the grand reopening soon over on the assisted living side, huh?
Yes, we had to postpone. We're thinking now the end of March.
Cool. Yeah.
Just because we can't get carpet. Some of the carpet has been delayed. Yeah. Story of our life right now. Food, carpet, things are just hard to come by. You want
me to drive to Los Angeles Harbor and pick up the carpet and bring it over?
I know, right? It's just, we're trying really, really hard, but it's taking a little bit of time on some things. So hopefully by the end of March, we'll be completely done on the assisted living side, and we'll be able to have a grand reopening over there. And then hopefully by mid-year, we'll have the same thing done on the independent living side so that we can do the same thing over here and before it gets too hot. So we can have outside entertainment and tours and things of that nature going on. So we're looking forward to having a grand reopening. It's going to take a little bit of time. We know that because of the delays on some of the products, but we are looking forward to it.
Well, I love the outdoor patio. I mean, I think that it's just such a luxury to have.
Well, and which one? Even though
right.
We do have patio. Some rooms have patios and some have balconies, but we also have those internal courtyards. They all have patio furniture on them. We have a patio off of our activity space in an independent living, a patio off of our bistro in independent living. We have the pool area in independent living, and then we also have a huge patio space covered and uncovered over at the assisted living side as well. So if you're an outdoors person, this is the place to be. I'm not going to lie, because we do have all of the space for you to have the ability to be outside. Even if you have a room that does not have a balcony or a patio, there is plenty of patio space for you to be able to go down and read a book or just sit outside and relax. We have all of that space here at Harbor Place at Port St. Lucie, and it's resort style, literally palm trees everywhere. Everywhere you look is going to have a palm tree. We may not be on the water, but you can definitely feel like you're at a resort when you go outside.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like a cruise ship once you walk in. It really does. Yeah, yeah.
It does. And I will say, we have an older look when you come in with the big columns and things of that nature. We don't look like a grand hotel would look nowadays, and that's fine. There are some that do look, and if that's what you're looking for, we'll be happy to help you find that area. But I will tell you, you'll be hard pressed to find what we have here. It is absolutely beautiful. You walk in and there's columns down the walkway with tile floors and carpet inlays. It is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, it really is. And I think as you have stressed over the last several months is the fact that you're a 55 plus community. I mean,
We are.
yeah.
Yep. And independent living, and either way, assisted living, if you're 55 and older and need assisted living, then you are eligible to be here. And then on the independent living side, we're pushing to find more towards that 55-year range. We want independent residents that want to come in and lead activities, and residents that come in and want to go do trips to the theater and all of those sorts of things. We want those independent residents that truly just don't want to deal with being at home and having your house and having to clean it and cooking and all of that kind of stuff. Come see us. That's what we are here for. We want to go to the theater with you. We want to play shuffleboard outside with you. All of those sorts of things that you can do in a 55 and older community somewhere else, but you have to maintain your own home. Here, you don't have to do that.
Well, and I remember as we were setting up for the Christmas Kids a couple of years ago, it was like there must have been at least a dozen people that we were talking to that all drove this, still driving their cars.
Oh, yes. We have a lot that still drive, including you have the ability to purchase or rent a covered parking space. So we do have covered parking spaces for those that drive and want to keep their car covered, or the free parking lot outside that you may have to walk a little bit further to the building. But I have a lot of independent living residents that still drive.
And I think, getting down to the important stuff, you do allow pets.
Oh, yes. Within reason. We're not going to allow you to bring your 50-pound dog. Your German Shepherd would not really fit in the apartment with you. But small dogs, cats, fish, all of those sorts of things we do allow in the apartments on the independent living side. And then on the assisted life side, if you're able to take care and maintain your own pet, then you're able to have it over there as well. I have several residents that have a cat in assisted living, and a loved one comes in and changes the litter box. So it's reasonable. It's easy to do. You just have to come check us out. Come look at us, 3700 Southeast Jennings Road. You can come by and do a walk-in tour. You can call us at 772-337-4330. We'll be happy to schedule a tour with you. One of my concierges will get some information and she'll pass you on to myself or Pat, who is the sales director, and we will get you set up for a tour. And like I said, if you don't want to call, you just want to stop by because you're in the neighborhood, feel free. Myself, Pat, or any of my directors are able to give a tour. That's one thing that one way that we are different is just because I have a salesperson doesn't mean that all of my management team does not know how to come in and give a tour and show you what it's like to be at Harbor Place at Port St. Lucie. We want to make sure that no matter what, if you walk in, you're not going to wait 20 minutes to get on a tour. We're going to get you on that tour within the first 5 minutes and talk to you and get you where you need to be.
And I think the big thing too is that, you can help veterans with veterans benefits, that you can line people up to talk to your experts, and we've had them on too, and they are.
Actually, it's about time for me to get Dwayne on again, but Dwayne is a gentleman that we team with. We don't pay him. He doesn't pay us. He's just a fantastic gentleman that works with VA benefits, making sure that everyone has the capability. He can help you file for them. He can go through the necessary documentation and truly tell you, okay, this is my experience, that you may be denied because of this, or you're good to go. Let's get it all done, get it sent in so that your dates get lined up and started. He's been doing it for quite a long time. I referred him to a personal friend of mine, my mother's best friend. Her mother is the spouse of a veteran. and she needs a little bit more help at home, and so she's going to file for some veteran for the benefits, and so there's a lot of different options there. But Dwayne can help you with that paperwork, making sure it can happen, and he works all over, because it's this day and age, everybody can work from home with calls and things. That's why I'm here. I'm not at the radio station. And it's fantastic that we can do these live things without having to go anywhere. And he's the same way. He's able to, that if you're worried about COVID and coming in contact with someone new up close and personal, he can talk through most of it on the phone or by Zoom video as well.
It's funny. It's the one thing that COVID has given us. It's kind of nice, is this whole Zoom technology that's really phenomenal.
It is. It's great. We even our company does when we do our regional meetings, we used to go 4 times a year to Chattanooga. Now we only go twice. So our first and third quarters, we do it via Zoom, and our second and fourth, we go to the corporate meetings. So it's not bad. It saves money on plane tickets and hotels and everything I think there's 25 of us that go to that. So it's good. I love it. We've had able to work with families, with residents, so that they can see them on Christmas or see them on New Year's by doing those Zooms. And it really has forced us to move more into a digital age. And it's forced residents to move more into a digital age, especially independent residents as they're coming in. They're a lot more equipped to work and do digital stuff as well. So it's fantastic.
Yeah, I think one of your ladies there was joking with me, and I was setting up for the Christmas kids, and she was talking about, what's your Twitter handle? And I looked at her, I'm going, what
is that? Yeah, I mean, some of them, they know more than I do. I mean, they do. I mean, I have some residents that have only ever had Apple products, and so teachers and things of that nature that have retired and moved in, they do a fantastic job with everything. So it's great. We love it. We have a tech squad actually on our activity calendar for independent living. My lifestyles director and her team teaches a tech class. So if they have any type of questions, they can't get their phone to do something, they can't get their computer to do what they want to do, they can write their question down, and during tech class, they go over it so that everybody gets a general knowledge and everybody kind of learns what's going on. It's been a huge hit. Especially for residents who don't really know how to work their phones, they've been able to do a lot more. So that was one of the things that has been helpful. We do cardio drumming with our residents on both assisted living and the independent living side, and it's a lot of fun. I break a sweat, and you would not think you would, because you're literally sitting in a chair and you're using drumsticks and hitting a ball, but it is great exercise. It's great cardio. Just a lot that goes on. We don't just play bingo. That's a common misconception, that yes, we play bingo. Do not get me wrong. And we will never take away bingo. Bingo will never go away from independent livings and assisted livings and skilled nursing.
Yeah, but your bingo is different. It's full contact bingo. I've seen it.
I mean, you would think so. Sometimes it gets a little verbal, but it is fun. I like to play with them when I can get out of the office. It's been a while. It's about time for me to play again. We play Pokino. We do horse racing on both sides. Wii bowling, Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy. I mean, we've got all kinds of things that go on to keep everybody busy. And then we have some resident-led activities. They play poker in the evening, play cards in the evening, just a lot of fun stuff.
The problem with your activities director is she is so shy and retiring.
Oh, so shy.
Oh, when she first came on, it was like, wow, she is a ball of energy.
She is, and she is extremely knowledgeable. I will say it about Bethany. She is a certified therapeutic recreational specialist. Say that 10 times fast. But which basically that means she has a 4-year degree on how to engage residents in different types of activities, not just bingo and Pokino. She has the ability and the training. She can write care plans for residents that like on assisted living side, if she wants If we are seeing that that person's becoming more of a recluse and not coming out as much, then she can help with that care planning on getting them out and helping stimulate them on the things that they need to help get them out of the room. So she is a wonderful added benefit to the team. They're not typically, her degree is not typically found in an assisted living. They're more in your skilled nursing type areas. And so she's kept up with her certification, but she uses that ability on the assisted living side, which makes things just smooth as sailing. And she teaches handbell choir on the assisted living side. It's great.
Well, what was amazing in talking with her at length is, she can analyze a diet too.
Yes.
And as to, okay, where are you going? You all of a sudden you're eating this or that, and she can kind of put you on the straight and narrow, which I think is amazing.
She can, and she leads with her heart, which makes a difference. She's always there to do whatever a resident needs. She will literally drop what she's doing to help a resident that's having problems with her phone. That's what you need with an activity director. She's great at programming, but she is just as great about doing the activity and being one-on-one with a resident.
That's very cool. Yet again, another asset of what you've got at Harbor Place. That's for sure.
And she's just the director. We have 2 assistants. We're getting ready to hire a 3rd assistant so that we can do activities a little bit more. We want activities going till 7 or 8 in the evening every day. So we're really picking things up and offering more. Now it's just getting the staff to be able to do that.
Yeah, well, that's phenomenal. So you are looking then for assistant activity directors. Anybody out there driving around?
We need one. We're starting our volunteer program back as well. If anybody wants to volunteer on either assisted living side or the independent living side to do activities, a paint class, do anything, if you are good at scrapbooking or making cards and you want to donate your time and donate a class, you can call Bethany here at the building. So 772-337-4330. And she'd be happy to work with you to set something up. There is kind of we have to run a background, things like that. So there's a little bit of a process, but even if you volunteer, but it's not that difficult, it's really easy. But we love volunteers because that means there's always something doing, and we can do parallel programming, meaning that we can have activities going on in multiple places in the building at the same time. So the more volunteers we have, the easier that is to do.
Now, do you work with like the HOSA kids at Indian River State College, or?
We have not. We're actually just now getting back to volunteers because we had stopped volunteers.
Sure. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So we're getting back to it. And, we don't put color sheets in front of people. I don't want you coloring with crayons. That's a dignity issue. So we don't really we do painting, watercolors, acrylics, things of that nature. But you really won't see anybody sitting down coloring on a coloring sheet unless that's something one of the residents specifically asks to do. But we don't do group activities that are color sheets. We try to keep it a little bit more intense than that.
Yeah, that would probably work for me because they had to replace my crayons over Christmas. All they let me have in the office.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be the person that wants to have a room that I can go sit and paint. That's my stress relief. I sit and paint different things, but my mother likes to color with crayons. So, I mean, it just depends. It depends on the resident, but it's not something that we typically create coloring sheets with crayons. It's not a quick, we don't have an activity. Well, here, let's give them something to color. No, that does not fly here at Harbor Place.
That would be Carol, though. I mean, she would like to get back into like watercolors and stuff like that. I think
I've never been good at watercolors. I can do acrylics.
Okay.
I don't do watercolor. I just can't. I can never get the consistency right for it. But now, when I was in college and I was doing my theater degree, they actually make watercolor pencils. So if you like watercoloring, you can actually color it with the pencil first, and then you take your watercolor, because I can control the shading on the pencil better than I can shading with the watercolor. So you shade it and then you paint it with the brush and it looks like it's watercolor.
Wow. Okay.
I know it sounds crazy. It sounds,
It does. It does.
I don't know what the technology is, but I know it's out there.
Wow, that's kind of cool, actually. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah. Yeah. So remember, we have our wonderful bone and joint with Dr. Joe coming up, talking about non-surgical ways to overcome pain in your knees. I'm sure he'll go over anything that other pains that you may have on your joints, but Dr. Joe will be with us again. That's going to be on the 20th. We are looking forward to that. Give us a call. It is limited seating. We will have some hors d'oeuvres and that will be there as well. But the number to call, 772-337-4330. Again, that is 772-337-4330. Give us a call. We would love to put you on that list. When you call, let us know if you want a tour while you're here. You can come for the event. When the event's over, we'll be there to tour and show you around the community, just so you can kind of get an idea of these fun things that we're talking about. We want you to come be part of our family here at Harbor Place, and that's what we truly are. We're one big family. I tell the residents all the time that they're just grandparents to me. I have 160 new grandparents, and so that's how we all look at it. We love it. And we're here to serve them. This is their home. It's not a hotel room. This is their home, and we're just here visiting and helping. So we are looking forward to that event. We're looking forward to doing more tours. We just got recertified as a great place to work for 2022, which is fantastic. 2 years in a row that we passed that certification, which means that our associates, we have a trust index with them that's high enough to rank us into that category. So if you're looking for a job, we do have several positions available. All you have to do is go onto our website, centurypa.com, go to careers, and then you can search by community or by area. Even if you're not here, if you have friends and family that are looking for positions, we operate in 19 states. 4 different buildings here in Florida. So Fort Lauderdale here, Orlando, and Ocala, and we're always hiring and looking for positions to fill. So if you're looking for a job, you want to work at a great place to work, certified company, this is it. And so Century Park is a great community to work for. And then of course, Harbor Place at Port St. Lucie is our specific name here in Port St. Lucie. We're one of the long-standing buildings. We've been here 21 years. And it's hard to believe, but 20 years, and you see things come and go. People change names, people sell buildings. Harbor Place at Port St. Lucie has been the same for 21 years. So that's a feat all in itself. So if you're looking for a place that's not going to change owners and it's not going to change anything anytime soon, come see us. Mr. Preston owns and operates his own buildings. We're not a management company. So things are a little bit different when it comes to that. So you don't have that fear of, are you going to sell out a year from now and raise my rate 12%? That's never going to happen with us because we have one owner. And he sole owns us. And then our sister property next door, which is Life Care Center of Port St. Lucie. We're a continuing care campus for all intents and purposes. We have independent living, assisted living, and then skilled nursing on our and rehab on our same campus. So if you want to go somewhere that you can transition from independent living to assisted living and then skilled when you need to, this is the place to be. We work hand in hand because we are owned by the same gentleman. We refer back and forth. We also refer to different areas. I mean, we have Emerald that we go back and forth with as well. So don't think just because you're here that you have to go to Life Care, or if you're at Life Care that you have to come here. Of course, we work hand in hand, but we want to make sure that you're getting the best for you and your situation as well.
Well, and I think it's more than a job. I think you're probably being a very special, I would say, really targeted company looking for people who want a career.
Yes, it is. You have to be, if you want to work in this industry, you have to have a heart, you have to care, and you have to care to be here. You can't be here just to get a paycheck. because it shows very, very quickly if you're just here to get a paycheck. If you're here because you love working with seniors, that's what we want. If you want to come because you think you might love working with seniors, come on, and if it comes 6 months from now, if it's something you just don't, it's not for you, you will part ways, and that's fine, because it's not for everyone. There are days where I leave here where I am so excited, I have a big smile on my face. And then there are other days where I leave where I feel defeated, because just like everybody else, residents have bad days. And they're going to sometimes take it out on those of us who are here because we're the ones that are here. So there are days where I walk out and I'm defeated, but I come back the next day with a big smile on my face, and we figure out how to make it better and make everybody happy. And sometimes we can't. Just know that sometimes we can't make everybody happy, but just to be able to come in every day and put a smile on our faces. And I have residents, I know they're listening because they've now realized that I am on the radio on Tuesdays. So some of them in independent living are probably listening, and we love them to death. And even when we have a town hall meeting and they chew me up one side and down the other about something, 30 minutes later, they come and give me a big hug and say, we're just doing it for the best of everybody. And that it is what it is. And we appreciate that. We want them to be vocal. And we want them to show us where we're lacking. So it's great. I've been doing this for close to 15 years now. And there are always times in every building I've ever worked in where residents you have a town hall, and very rarely do you go in and everybody goes, everything is fantastic. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Think about your own home and your neighborhood that you live in. You always have some type of complaint about the neighborhood, even if it's 3 streets down that they didn't put their trash can back at their house within 30 minutes of the trash running. And so it is what it is. And we're always going to have that. This is their home. So it's basically like having a homeowners association. They have the ability to talk, and it's fantastic.
Well, I was just going to say, this sounds like an HOA almost.
Yeah, it is basically. We want them to be able to have some voice in things. Of course, there are times where we have to make a business decision to do things certain ways. But even then, we propose votes and we talk about it, and very rarely is a decision made without having a conversation with the residents, just so that they're aware of what's going on.
And I would think more than most areas, you probably have residents who are really targeted and understand this health issue as well with COVID.
We do. And we honestly can say that even during COVID, we did not have a problem with people wanting to move in. We were able to put their concerns aside and to show them that this was a safe place by the fact that we do shut down when we get when the positivity rate in the county gets too high. We'll shut down the dining rooms and activities so that there's not staff members around in possibility of infecting residents, and because we're going more places than they are, and all of those sorts of things. We didn't have a problem with that. We did not put a moratorium on bringing people in because we wanted people to see, yes, our building is safe. We took precautions and things of that nature, but we continued to do tours and things during the whole time. And I can honestly say we had another great year of continuous growth. And so our company is going strong. Our building is going strong. So that's one of the prides that we have, is that we've been able to keep people this safe.
Well, and again, as far as the apartment sizes, you have 1 and 2 bedroom apartments. Is that correct?
So I have anything from a small studio, which is basically the size of a hotel room, all the way up to a 2 bedroom. There's about 9 different actual floor plans on the on the independent living side. And I have 4 different floor plans on the assisted living side. So there's a little bit for everybody. And even like a studio deluxe, there's a couple different versions of it. The 1 bedrooms on the independent living side, there's a couple different versions of it. So we have lots of options depending on what you like and what your financial need is.
And basically, you've got the floor plan designs on your website, so anybody can look at that at any given time.
You can. All you have to do is go on centurypa.com, pull up Port St. Lucie, look at them. They are on there. They're actually in the process of redoing all of our websites. So if you go on there one day, the next day, and it looks totally different, please don't yell at me, but because they are redoing them. They're going community by community, but that's happening. But yes, you can go on there. The only thing that is not listed are prices, because those are subject to what the market is at the time. And so instead of having to change those up all the time, you will have to call us and come in for a tour. During your tour process, then we do go over pricing. And we will only show you if you come in and tell us that this is the budget that you're looking at. Or when you're on the phone, if you say, hey, I don't want to spend more than this number, then we're going to tell you, okay, we can make that work. Why don't you come on in and we'll show you what we have for those options. We don't want to get you in a place where you can't afford it and you have to move out in a couple months. That's going to not do anybody any good. So we do talk about that as part of the process. We learn about you. We learn about if you have pets and all kinds of things. We want to get on a personal basis with you, not just spit numbers at you over the phone. So we ask that you do come in, you take a tour. We learn about you, you learn about us, and we go over all that in the process.
Boy, I think that's really phenomenal. And I think that what has always impressed me about your place is the continuum of care. I think that is, realistically, it's all going to work that way with all of us.
You're right. You're right. And some people, they do age in place and they're able to stay in their apartment and they do pass in their apartment. There is that capability. But most of the time they do progress through the process from independent to assisted to skilled nursing. And we are one of the few around here that actually has that continuing care campus, and it's all in one.
Well, I think it's phenomenal. And of course you're easy to find, right off of US 1, right in the center of the Treasure Coast.
We're right here across from Bell's, behind the old Sonny's Barbecue. If you remember that building, it's been empty now for quite a while. I've been here 2 years. It's been empty for that long, probably before that. And the Holiday Inn. Though, if someone's listening, that would be somebody put a restaurant back in there, please.
We have been talking about that forever. When we got here, we stayed in that Holiday Inn in 93, and that was a friend of ours who owned it, Barnacle Bills, and he is now a professor at Indian River State College and runs the culinary department, as a matter of fact. And he had it for years, and then I guess the barbecue place came in, and I still don't understand that. It's a great location.
It's been empty forever.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know if they want too much money for the rent. I don't know. Or maybe it's too much to have to go in and redo. I mean, I have no idea.
I don't either.
No idea. Hey, but I need that gentleman's name. We would love to team with him and do like apprenticeships with his culinary guys in our kitchen. We would love.
Yeah. He's at Indian River State College. And I'll get you his information. Yeah,
give it to me. We would love to.
Yeah, well, they certainly have the expert students who are currently working at a lot of country clubs in this area. Right. So I'll get them the information. Yeah,
that'd be fantastic.
Yep.
All right, guys, come see us soon. Harbor Place at Port St. Lucie. Our phone number 772-337-4330. Once again, I'm Jack. I'm the executive director. We look forward to seeing and talking to everybody soon. All
right. You have a great 2022. It's starting off well.
We'll see you next week.
All right. Have a good one. Jack Waldrop, executive director of Harbor Place in Port St. Lucie, where you're never alone. This is WPSL. It's 12 noon.